Bow Weep, Grog, Now Weep, Ninny Bong, my TF addicts. It is I, TFA 1024, the TF addict. It's been a while, forgive me. Coming to you with a pretty much long overdue TFTC. We haven't done one of these since 4 months ago. That's not good. I don't like that.
I mean, it has been. We'll probably have a lot more, with a whole new movie coming the way.
Yeah, that is very much for sure. Can I change this? And no, I don't want to do that. Is it fine the way it was?
It's fine.
Okay. So yeah, welcome to episode number 76, and today we're talking about literally the most current thing that's to be in the Transformers news right now. We're talking about Rise of the Beasts, which I'm super excited about. But before we go on to that, I'd like to introduce, our little panel here. Co-admin, my very good buddy, Cyborg Raptor.
Hello, everyone. Odds are I was always going to be here.
And for the second time she's been on the show, because her first debut was actually with the episode featuring Lazy Eyebrow, my girlfriend and very long-term partner, TF Addict 4891.
Yo. So I'm still, very much new to the TF fandom. I have become low-key obsessed with it. Okay, high-key. But I am very much in love with it. I hope to stick with it forever. I'm not that much, a figure collector as these two guys, or probably as much as anyone else. Yeah,
Not yet.
Not yet. But still in the early stages. So yeah, but I'm just here for fun and to talk about animation stuff, because that is my aesthetic and my shit.
So sorry if I seem like I'm not fully invested at the moment. I'm trying to close my door for privacy's sake. But yeah, how's it feel being on a little live stream series like this?
It's fun. I mean, I get to talk about, things I like without, feeling so much anxiety.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about a big audience either.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, depending on who watches this, whenever they watch this, doesn't matter. This episode is going to be uploaded later anyway. We're going to be talking about Rise of the Beast, which is the latest Transformers film in the live-action Transformers lineup. Apparently not connected to the Michael Bay universe. I refuse to call it the Bayverse. Hate that term so much.
There's still talks on that. But I'll get into it.
Yeah. But it is connected to Bumblebee somehow. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll find out. So anyway, so director, forgot his name, Stephen.
Don't you have the information right
Stephen
there?
Capel Jr. He recently took part in a Paramount Pictures online event and was giving a pretty hefty amount of details in regards to the upcoming motion picture that will be released on the same date as Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Off to a great start so far.
Oh my.
No, that's just a little bit of humor. I don't hate Revenge of the Fallen. I used to think it was the worst one, and then TOK happened. But
That's fair.
I still like TOK. It's still my favorite, honestly. So yeah, we got an official title. Apparently, the whole Beast Alliance thing was a placeholder title. Thank God.
Apparently, it was intended to be the title, but it changed.
But it makes no sense.
I mean, I kind of prefer Beast Alliance than Rise of the Beast.
Every Transformers title is either something Rising or something Alliance. Or...
This is their second time they've stolen a Star Wars title after the Star Wars title. The Last Knight, The Last Jedi, Rise of the Skywalker, Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Seems like Transformers and Star Wars always kind of competed, because if you remember during the 1986 movie promotion, they said it was the biggest intergalactic adventure next to Star Wars.
Yeah, apparently the original 86 movie didn't have a title scroll in theaters. Yeah,
it did.
So Also, RC is straight up based off Princess Leia.
Princess Leia.
Oh my god.
But overall, I think Beast Alliance may have been a better. I mean, because they are allying with beasts.
Yeah.
But
You guys
really
up.
know that?
Rise of the Beast is weird for me to say. Like, I edited the title for me to say Transformers Roast of the Beef.
How did you do that, by the way? Like, I
took all the letters that I needed and I just cut and paste. Nothing too crazy.
I think you started something because everyone started doing that.
Yes, my favorite was Transformers Ass. It was perfect.
Someone did Transformers Ascension for Crosshairs Productions.
Oh, nice.
And then I think he did. I don't know what he did. He did something like. What was it? Something involving bread. I can't remember what it was, but I remember. It was funny. It's on the Crosshairs Productions Facebook group if you guys haven't seen it. It's funny stuff. But I mean, I can see where you're coming from with the whole Beast Alliance thing, but like, I don't know. I kind of like Rise of the Beast, but now that I think about it more, yeah, it is kind of like a weaker title. But hey, from the details we got, it sounds like it might be a strong movie. Speaking of said details, let's get this out of the way now. Peter Cullen is back. Woohoo! No more Jake. Of course,
I had no thought against it. I mean, why wouldn't he? Like, hopefully he just keeps going until either he retires or sadly passes away. At least for film.
Dude, don't. Oh, God forbid.
Knock on wood. Yeah, I hope they keep that going until he stops.
Same.
I wonder if because this is
a lot of people got the impression that like Jake Fucci was going to be like the new Optimus Prime, like for in general.
I mean, for shows, because this, do what they want with cartoons. For like actual film, Peter Cullen just has that quality that no one else has.
I mean, like, I don't mean duh. I mean, like, just of course he does.
Mm-hmm. He's buttery.
I still think, like, when I hear the term like bringing the character to life, I think every Optimus Prime voice actor finds a way to bring it to life in their own different way. Like with Peter Cullen, he definitely like embodies what the character is about, what is his viewpoints, his perspective, his overall character is. With Neil Kaplan and Gary Chalk and even David Kay and anyone else who's voiced Optimus Prime, I think they find a way to bring it like a unique way to it. Like, I love how, I suck Armada off as much as possible every chance I get.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Gary Chalk, I love his more militaristic type approach to Optimus. I love that sudden shift. Neil Kaplan basically was kind of like Optimus 2.0. He wasn't a bad Optimus. I'd love to hear his voice again after so long, but but I understand when people say like Peter Cullen is the definitive Optimus Prime because he was the first. He was the very first person, if not the only person, to voice Optimus Prime from 1984. Took a nice little break, and then came back around 2007, and then he's been here with us ever since. So I'm glad that he's still following along. I had no doubts that he wouldn't, but it's still refreshing to hear that, like, yeah, no other person is getting Optimus. Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime in these films. For cartoons, we're going to have someone else do it. But it's still kind of unfortunate that even the modern audience of Western media is being robbed of Peter Cullen's voice acting of Optimus in like cartoons and lore. But I get it. Not every Optimus is going to be the same. So hearing him being in Rise of the Beasts, I'm already ecstatic. I just hope it's not going to be, and not to open up a can of worms, I hope it's not going to be a similar situation with Bumblebee, how he had to go off of John Bailey instead of doing Optimus himself. I hope they find a way to like kind of tweak that, because if they,
I think this might be a bit different because so the whole thing about this Optimus Prime for this movie is that they're taking a step back, and apparently he's not the 100% the leader that we know. like we saw in 2007. No connection. Like this whole movie is like kind of like it's kind of somewhat his movie. He's the lead for the robot cast, so it's all about him discovering, why he loves Earth and why he cares for the humans. So I want to see how Peter can kind of like take that step back as well, because he was always great as being a stoic leader, but can't. I know we can get emotional. He's obviously seemed angry for the past few years, but I wonder if we can see him, be the more curious and the more, flawed character.
That's I think that's one thing that was lacking from a majority of Optimus Prime storytelling, is that we never really see him become a leader. Like Siege and Earthrise are kind of diving into that a little bit, but it's more so, he already has the matrix of leadership and now he's leading the Autobots. It's like, how are we going to get to that? How are we
we won't see that in this movie. Because I think they're still planning on making that, because the whole year afterwards, 2023, is when apparently we might be getting that animated film that is straight up the Optimus Megatron origin story.
Please.
I really hope.
This is all about like him. Like I bet we're gonna see him being like, yeah, military mode all the way. And then be like, whoa, hold on, probably less collateral damage, and let's start caring for the environment and the people. Mm-hmm. Especially since he'll have a good role model in this film.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's all going to work out. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Optimus, yeah, he apparently he's confirmed to be basically the lead character. So that's kind of, it's not a 100% origin story, but it's nice to know that technically, if you wanted to call it this, you could call Rise of the Beast an Optimus solo film in a sense, because it is very Optimus focused.
I mean, we don't know yet. That's the thing. I wish we could say all this shit like as if it's confirmed. But
yeah.
For right now,
couple of things.
The information we're getting right now, it seems like that's what it's going to be. It's all up for speculation and all up for debate and everything. So not everyone's, going to agree with what I say or what you say, or vice versa. Because the way that I'm wording it is, I'm just going off of what the article is saying, because this is what Stephen Capel Jr. is saying, and it sounds like this is what he's aiming towards. So, for speculation's sake, that you could call this, if it does end up to be true, an Optimus solo film, and, not really solo, but like kind of, if he's the main character and there's like a supporting cast, that still technically is a solo film. Like we saw it kind of like with Bumblebee back in 2018. So basically what I'm saying is, if it does turn out to be this, it'll be nice, because that's something that we as the fans have wanted for a long time, and something that Peter Cullen himself has wanted, was an Optimus solo film.
Yep.
So I think that's a really good way to kind of work into there.
Also, his design apparently is so it's gonna be close to the Bumblebee movie that we saw, but a couple of extra things added on, and more gray apparently, gray on the shoulders, which is gonna be an interesting look.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I'm still not super keen on that design.
Really, I love it. Oh, every time I see it, because there are times I just look up the Cybertron scene in Bumblebee, and when he shows up, I'm like, God, that's smooth.
Me personally, I might be biased because first big motion picture I saw in theaters. I like the 2007 Optimus, but as the movies continue to grow, I really grew attached to the evasion mode. It was a nice blend of like G1 meets the movieverse, and it really worked for me. I think that's what Optimus Prime should. But I also kind of like this design because it's kind of like a mix between classic G1 Optimus Prime with like a touch of IDW Optimus Prime with a hint of movieverse to it.
Right.
But it's not for me. I can't really get into it. Like when I first saw him, I was like, oh, holy shit, he looks absolutely gorgeous. But now the more I see him, I'm like, it's basically just G1 in the movies, and that's not what I'm about. Like, I'm not going to be anti-G1, like, oh, this was terrible, I don't like it. It's like, cool, you like what you like, embrace it. Don't discriminate it or whatever. Don't demean it. Like, I'm not going to do that to you. You guys like the design? Anyone here who likes the design? Good on you. I have no problem with you liking it. I just don't have that strong of an attachment to it. So, but hey, more gray kind of sounds like Beast Hunters, or not Beast Hunters, RAD-ish because in RAD 2015, after he got upgraded, he kind of had like some more white and
True,
black.
true.
So I'm curious to see how that'll look. I'm also curious to see how Bumblebee's going to look, because apparently he's still going to have that 1976 Camaro, but he's going to have a lot more off-road stuff going on. So it seems like we're kind of doing like a Beast Hunters type deal.
Yes, like that's gonna be cool. Like he apparently has floodlights, raised tires, and like larger tires too. I wonder if they're gonna keep like, is he gonna have the Bumblebee kind of like baby face still, like from Bumblebee, where his eyes were bigger and he was kind of more clean in the face, like not many gaps as the Michael Bay version, or could it be like they're gonna back to being more rigid?
I kind of hope they go back to the more rigid look. I can't see Bumblebee fighting with a baby face like that.
Also, do you think he's do you think he's gonna? Is he gonna talk? I guess if we don't know if Ratchet's part of the team in this or not, but if he is, I wonder if they'll bring back the actor who was in the first time from that one movie series. I forgot though.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Apparently, it's also gonna be. He's gonna have all that thanks to Ratchet. Apparently.
I mean, I think it was saying like how the flood lights are like Ratchet, because Ratchet had that in the first.
Okay. Year. Tired brain. My bad. So I come on to that. Character that I'm also kind of excited about, but also kind of skeptical on. Mirage.
Mirage.
Oh boy.
This is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this is not Dino Mirage. This is a totally different take on Generation 1 classic F1 Formula race car Mirage. And a very, very, very distinctively heavy Mirage difference here, because... Okay, I'm going to try to sound impartial to this. So he's going to be a silver and blue Porsche 911. He's going to have the characterization of Crosshairs from Age of Extinction and The Last Night. And he can transform into multiple types of vehicles.
Duh.
I like that part. I think with Mirage being like, because the whole thing about Mirage is that he's able to go undercover, being turned into multiple vehicles and, getting out of a cinch as a different disguise. That's cool.
Well, you put it like that actually does sound awesome.
That part sounds cool, but it also kind of sounds like Punch Counter Punch meets Makeshift.
I mean, also in like so everyone's all like, how could they give Mirage the Porsche vehicle mode? That should be Jazz. I guess I don't really care.
I mean, Jazz wasn't a 911. He was a 3.4.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
And like the fact that it is a Porsche, people were like, woo, boo, boo. I mean, they could all be all these movies. They're rarely any of their vehicle modes.
Yeah,
rarely.
Think about it. This movie takes place in 1994. I think it would be pretty off-putting if you saw one of the main.
Formula One race car.
What?
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say how it would be off-putting that a Formula One race car is driving in the jungle next to
with a motorcycle, a truck, and off-road Camaro. Like, I think that would look pretty suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
pretty sketch.
All the fans would be like, "Oh yeah, Mirage," but let's be realistic here.
That's not realistic. That's the whole point of the movies, is like to kind of give you some pseudo realism, like how would they look. But then again, even the movieverse didn't really handle. Like, I think with a few vehicles from those previous movies, they did really well. Like, I liked what they did with Ironhide, just a typical top kick truck.
Heck yeah.
Ratchet being that fire department Hummer H2, Jazz being a Pontiac Solstice, Bumblebee being a Camaro, and Optimus just being a truck with flames. I mean, maybe a trucker wanted to drive in style. Who knows? I think those were
because flames make everything better.
I think those were pretty, relatively good choices for those vehicles. But you stick an F1 racer with a motorcycle, an off-road Camaro, a old, Peterbilt. It's gonna, like, hey, G1 on big screen, but also it's not practical. It's just odd.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what type of multiple vehicles it's going to turn into, and honestly, we probably may not see a lot of those transformations. We might. I don't know. I can't speak for that. Bumblebee transformations were pretty abundant in the film. Not as abundant as like the combination of all the movieverse, but So I'm curious about that. But his characterization of Crosshairs and being anti-authority.
I mean, that's I guess like I don't know.
Boy.
They want to add him, like make him, spice him up, make him new. It's a shame that has to be Mirage, but
Yeah, why?
Yeah, that sounds. I don't know how to feel about that. I have to see how that plays out because that's not Mirage. That sounds like another Autobot.
Right. I mean, this isn't the first time. Hell, they completely turned around Hound from being the guy who wants to pretend to be human and loves life to being the quote unquote, I'm like a fat ballerina who takes scalps in slits throats. Yeah, so this isn't the first time they've in a way raised the character, quote unquote.
I just it's weird for like why Mirage of all characters. Like maybe I guess like Capel Jr. has an attachment to Mirage and he just kind of wanted to make him more badass.
Or it could have been anything. It could have just been like we have a list of characters we get to use because like I'm sure for fans they think of Dino as Mirage, but I'm sure the producers and the filmmakers they see Mirage as Dino.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, especially because as of right now, like when it comes to official word, there is still no 100% clarity on where it is in the timeline compared to is this and Bumblebee part of the Michael Bay universe. We have no 100% answer on that. Which is why
I'm going to relish in all of the.
I guess I'll say at the end of this, if we get near the end, I do have a theory on where everyone can both have their cakes and eat it too.
Yeah.
But at this moment, I can see why they put Mirage in here so they can divide the two to where this is Mirage and that's just Dino, 100%.
Yeah. But of course, during the promotion for Dark of the Moon, before the change, and Ferrari decided to put a stick up their butt, he was promoted.
He had concept art. There's kid books. He was supposed to be Mirage.
He was in the video game, and he even did have an anti-authority type approach to everything. He's like, no, I don't need any human help. So, who knows? But I'm just gonna get this out of my system now. I may sound like an asshole, but I personally don't really give a crap right now. I'm gonna relish if this is connected to the Michael Bay movies. And there are going to be a bunch of people out there who are going to whine about it because that's something I want. I want a continuation. I want a previous story. I want to see what happens next. Like, finish it. You could literally do one more movie and then done. Finish that.
Yeah.
I think this movie, the whole reason why it's going so crazy is because apparently, I didn't know this. I learned today that Paramount, the rights to Paramount to make Transformers films ends 2022.
Oh shit! You're kidding.
That's why. If there was a possibility to renew it, it depends on the success of this film.
Ooh.
I mean, that's probably they announced many projects like the project they already announced, like this film, the animated film, and then there's that third film from the other like smaller director. We have no idea what that's about.
Wait, wasn't that the director or the one that got the guy from Toy Story 4 involved?
That's the animated movie.
Okay.
At the moment, the animated movie, that's the guy who. He directed Toy Story 4. And I forgot if anyone else was involved, but yeah. So, but that's why this movie is. I think it's why it's so big is that they want another spectacle for people to go see. So then more theaters, more seats, more tickets, and if it makes enough, Paramount would probably be like, I still see money in this. We'll sign up for another, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
But all right, carry on to the next robot.
All right, next one. I think this is pretty predictable at this point. We finally we get to see RC again. She had about like 1 or 2 seconds of screen time in Bumblebee, so it's nice to be able to see her again. Her robot mode is going to be very close to Generation 1, and she's going to transform into a Ducati 916 motorcycle. Red with rose and pink and white highlights, classic head, Ducati bike, racing number on leg. And that's pretty much it. I think the best way I can explain this. And first off, I want to just applaud Mr. Capel Jr. for going this way. I don't know if he's doing it because Transformers Prime relevancy and people liked it. I don't know if he's doing it because he studied a good portion of Transformers or maybe he grew up with them as a kid. But if this is a nonchalant reference to not only the movie universe, not only Transformers Prime, but Transformers Energon, I am 100% okay with that. Or just because, RC's been a motorcycle for how many years now?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, what Prime versus Prime mentioned, her legs apparently do have the wheel heels like in Prime.
Okay, so kind
So,
of. You know what?
yeah.
I'm still gonna take my Energon reference just because Hasbro. I could make a whole rant video about this, but I personally don't want to. But Hasbro has not acknowledged a good portion of their Transformers properties through the years. It's mainly just been G1 and then recently Beast Wars and now this obscure stuff with Gen Select stuff. They haven't acknowledged the Unicron trilogy rarely. They don't acknowledge animated that much anymore.
Ugh.
It's a crying shame. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, well, they see where the money is, and the money is in nostalgia even now.
I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't kill them to be like, hey, we have an anniversary for this coming. That's a
I mean,
different
that's maybe your Legacy, this new Legacy series coming out soon might give you some of those classic characters. Might give you a Cybertron Mudflap or an Energon Snowcat. I'm just picking.
Give me that Armada Optimus Prime prototype finished, please. Just give me that.
Give me the plushie, damn it.
But back on the draft, do you think RC is going to be mass shifting, or do you think she's just going to be small?
Oh, she's 100% going to mass shift.
Really? I kind of hope so. Only because if we are connected to the Bumblebee movie, she was average size for all the other Cybertronians.
I mean, she stood pretty same height next to Brawn and Wheeljack and Cliffjumper, so I would not be surprised if she mass shifted.
Yeah, I would hope so, just to keep that continuity.
Yeah.
The other thing I hope, though, is that they better get Grey Delisle back because she doesn't get much Transformers voice work anymore. Because she got to voice RC in both Revenge of the Fallen and Bumblebee, so I really hope that they decide.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll. Yeah, especially if she's done it so far. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Oh, please let her do it.
I'm gonna skip these next couple because I just
okay.
want to
I agree.
So, the next one we finally got a confirmation of our first Maximal because this film is probably I think the only film to introduce multiple factions aside from Autobots.
Yeah, so should we mention about that? That there's 5 factions in this film.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
See that scares me.
So, Rise of the Beast apparently is not just going to be your typical Autobot Decepticon story. This is kind of going to be a Netflix type deal with Kingdom, how they're introducing the Maximals and Predacons with the Autobots and Decepticons. But the only one difference there is they're introducing a brand new faction, and you may have heard this term used before in both Generation 1, Energon, and Transformers Prime. But this is a very different way to revamp it. We're being introduced to a new faction known as the Terrorcons, and it's not exactly who you think they are. Mm-hmm. And I'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But talking about Maximals, apparently we're going to be actually getting Optimus Primal. So the concept art that we saw for the last night is kind of utilized. It's just a little modified. He has more fur.
Apparently the Prime head design on that concept art is gone. So
I'm actually
which is good. Yeah. I still honestly believe that the Transformers Prime concept art, I think way back early production for the last night, instead of Nemesis Prime, Optimus Prime was going to become Optimus Primal and go bad.
Yeah,
I'm glad they scrapped it again, or even if that wasn't the case at all in the first place.
Yeah, but could you imagine Optimus Primal or Nemesis Primal going up against Dragon Megatron?
That'd be cool, yeah, because that was absolutely a concept art that was going to happen. Was Night Megatron was going to turn into a dragon? That would have been sick.
Yes, that would have.
But for the movie that for what it was, I'm also kind of glad that didn't go down either because I think that would have been.
Really, I want like ILM, like an ILM employee who worked on the Transformers film, just be bored one day and think, you know what, I want to animate what this Megatron design would look like and transform into, and how would I just want them to do that. But nah, that's okay. So yeah, Optimus Primal alongside Optimus Prime, alongside Bumblebee, and then we're getting the Maximals merged in with this universe. I don't know if it's gonna do with like time travel bullshit, if they're just gonna be on Earth. I have no idea how it's gonna work. We don't know how it's gonna work. But nonetheless, beasts are hitting the big screen. I mean, it's literally the first time since Age of Extinction we've seen them, and even then, Age of Extinction didn't really handle the beasts that well.
No.
Right.
I mean, you could technically argue that the Dreads, or at least Hatchet, was a beast, or Ravage. I mean,
Yeah, during that time, almost every Decepticon was animalistic.
yeah. Or insectoid or arachnoid looking.
Yeah, and so it wasn't but these are actual animals. So this is where it gets really jungly. Apparently, Optimus Primal is very he's very caring for his crew, which is why I think Optimus is going to learn from Optimus Primal. Their Primal will probably be kind of like his role model. He'll probably show him what makes Earth and humans so special.
You think this is going to be like an Age of Extinction Dinobots thing, where it's they're like legendary warriors, but
Earth? So here's my theory. Here's my theory in this whole thing. I think this will be a bit weird, and it will probably not be what it is. But if you wanted to have everyone to be like, its own universe, Bayverse. So what if the Predacons and the Maximals are Transformers from the Bayverse, from the distant future, that went back in time, a la Beast War style, and land in this timeline, and with this happening, it screws the timeline over, and now it's a whole new timeline because these Bayverse characters are now in the past.
So you think that retcons everything else?
I think so,
Right.
and also because again, this is the one that really it just kind of popped in my mind, but I'm for sure it will not be. But it was what if Optimus Primal and Megatron are the Bayverse, Optimus Prime and Megatron, that are been stuck on Earth for way in the past, and so they've had to adjust to new modes. They probably sound different. One sounds more like a Gary Chalk. One sounds more like a David Kay. And they've look, I've been on Earth for a long time. I've been in your shoes, Optimus. I went to Earth. I've been pissy at first. I fought a weird lady that was a witch, I think. I don't know. Anywho, so this is not. That's why I'm this would be a very seasoned Optimus Prime that's been on Earth for so long. He's no longer Optimus Prime. He's Optimus Prime. That's my theory of a movie that just got announced not even a week ago. It won't be the case, but I think if you want to have everyone to be both they both get what they want of being a Bayverse movie technically and its own universe, that would be
that is a very interesting way to establish that type of connection. Yeah. That's genius, honestly.
That would be awesome to hear.
Have Optimus Prime and Megatron be like who they are, but at least I think if you want to have your timeline fixed.
You say that may not happen, but you're also the same dude who predicted Galvatron from Age of Extinction.
That was me being lucky. That and Sentinel Prime and that and something else. And
yeah.
3 or 2. But I was saying, I just say that's why. Let's see. That's why it sounds a lot more like a fan theory or a fanfic, which is why I know it won't be the case. It's going to end up being they're ancient Cybertronians that have been on this Earth far so too long, and
that would make a good headcanon.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If we don't have much answers on these guys, it could be my headcanon. But until we get more,
even if Capel Jr., if he's that much of a fan of the Michael Bay movies, watch him actually do something like that. You never know with these directors.
Yeah, and also if this movie is obviously going to be Transformers Kingdom, the movie, and Transformers Kingdom, the small teaser we got for the show already confirmed that they are from the future.
Yes.
If they want to keep that premise, if they are from the future, then I think that would be a good way to be
I think it's a genius way to do that.
It is.
Especially with we'll talk about the Terracons and how this kind of can't be part of the Bayverse because of what was rumored recently. But that's later on. So yes, that was my theory.
Later on, soon to come. So as soon as we finish up with the Maximals, I will get right into that. But speaking of it, he doesn't really talk about the Decepticons, which is kind of a bummer. But
he totally passed by. I'm sure they're in it, and I bet I'm sure they're not even that much in it at all. I bet they're going to be maybe last scene big threat, but I'm sure they will be in it at some point.
I don't know. I kind of hope they establish that they were there a few years after Bumblebee and the Autobots stationed themselves on Earth. Even if we don't see Megatron, I mean that'd be cool. I mean, I would love to see what Bumblebee's Megatron's gonna look like, but if not, hey, that's fine too.
Right, and that's why again, like I'm sure they're also keeping it tight because in the chance that this is just basic Bayverse, no time travel shenanigans involved, Megatron could still be in frozen ice. So I bet there's a lot of things you can do. But yeah,
I like that. I hope that's right because that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would.
But so the next animal.
Yeah. So next one we got is I don't know if I can say it's everyone's fan favorite. I mean, who knows? But either way, we got Rhinox. Rhinox is making his debut on the big screen for the very first time. Rhinox is equivalent to that of, honestly, a merger between like Ratchet and Ironhide if he was a Rhino or if they were a Rhino. So we all know who he is. He's going to be a classic, well, semi-classic Rhino. He's going to be Rhino-shaped. He's going to have a lot of plates going down his back. He's also going to kind of look steampunkish and kind of rusty.
Oh, hell yeah.
He wants to use his Hornet, I guess. He's going to be kind of like Ironhide in a way. Also looks old metal. He's been there for a while. So the way that this is starting to sound is like, yeah, these guys might be like the equivalent of the Dinobots, except with a little bit more character and personality as opposed to, oh, we're just mindless beasts and warriors who just work here. So I'm curious how that's going to play out. I don't exactly know who I would spectate to be as like the voice actor for Rhinox, but if anyone, I mean, it would be really cool if they got Richard Newman to do him again after so long, because he's still around. I don't see why they couldn't. But really, they're probably going to get like some, big name, like maybe, I don't know.
Danny DeVito. He's Rhinox. Hey, Optimus. Let's go.
Oh, God.
Actually, I was thinking Vin Diesel for some reason.
That'd be awesome.
Or like Stone Cold Steve Austin, or I don't know. I mean, they got John Cena. Watching them get Stone Cold.
I'm sure they'll pick either. That's the thing, like with these movies, is that it's either going to be a celebrity cast or it's going to be a classic voiceover.
Yeah,
so it can literally be either way. I don't know. I guess I don't know for these Maximals and Predacons if they're going to go like. I can actually see Optimus Primal being played by Gary Chalk. I think they know that the fans like their original voice actors, and Gary Chalk has been in films like he's Gary Chalk
is like a general or something in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. And he's been in. Also, he was in the 2014 Godzilla movie. Like a quick role.
Also in a one of the, I don't remember which live action Scooby Doo movie it was, but he was the principal in one of them.
Oh yeah. So I'm sure he would come back.
So
for
he's
it.
done big
blockbusters
before, and he's also done like cartoon or direct to DVD or that type of movie. So I don't think it would be too far fetched to get him as Optimus Primal. If anything, it'd be an injustice if they didn't. Of course, I say that like a loyalist fan.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, a lot of people would probably not be happy about it. But if I don't get him, I really, and no disservice or disrespect towards Gary Chalk, but I would love if they got Ron Perlman, because he did a fantastic Optimus Primal in the Machine.
Please.
I mean, if they bring him in, like hopefully there's a better voice director, because he's in it, and he's really cool. He does great voice work before, but honestly, I feel like everyone that was in the that Power of the Prime series was lacking. That's honestly, it's not because of the actor's fault. It was just bad writing and also just bland dialogue.
You didn't like Ron Perlman as Prime?
No, I mean I like Ron Perlman, but I don't think I like him as. I like him as Slade.
I mean, I don't
like he's.
I didn't notice any.
Guy.
I didn't notice. Excuse me. I didn't notice any flawed vocal direction from him. I think he played the role pretty well.
I think they were all bland. But that's for a whole other thing. Like just that entire series in general, that whole trilogy of series, everyone there was bland. Just kind of like how I feel about the Netflix series. Probably because it's made by the same guy. But fuck, we're talking about Rhinox.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of hope they get Richard Newman. I think that'd be cool to hear his voice on the big screen. I'm pretty sure he would feel pretty honored because he has not really done any voice work since Beast Wars or Beast Machines for Transformers, at least. I don't know if he's still doing stuff for other media or whatnot, but
Right.
If I don't get him, I'm pretty sure it's going to be some big name. I don't know who, but probably someone good.
Yeah.
Next one we got is the first female Maximal, literally the first female Maximal. We got Air Razor. Apparently, she's going to also have like a Rusty Bird mode. She's going to look steampunk-esque. Her silhouette's going to look very realistic to that of her actual Falcon mode. And she's also going to be plated and layered. But also, she may have like a bit of a kind of Revenge of the Fallen Jetfire thing going on where she looks old and been here a bit. Kind of Jetfire, also Age of Extinction Dinobot-esque. So again, this further backs up my theory on the Maximals seem to play as like ancient guardians to Earth without the humans ever realizing it. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, yeah. I mean, that's why if you're depending on what universe you're playing with, it can either just be, well, Transformers been here forever anyway, or they can just be disguised like they're either hide so well because they're partially animal.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious on how they're going to do the whole steampunk aspect though. That just sounds odd.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about that too. Like I'm always, every time you think steampunk, you think gears and pipes and steam, but like I'm sure it looks more like it's probably themed and or reminiscent of steampunk, but not 100% actually. Also, because like everyone keeps saying they're all rusty. That's why I keep visualizing them as all like just covered in rust, but I'm sure they're not.
That's why I keep bringing up the Dinobots from Age of Extinction, because it's like, or the Knights from the Last Night. It's like that's pretty much it. They're old. They're relics at this point. So maybe it's a similar deal. I don't know.
God, like it's a shame. Like they didn't. I mean, they didn't announce. Like these are all the only Maximals they announced.
I mean, there is a subtle kind of confirmation about Shidor.
Yes. Apparently,
mentioning that a character who was Ultra Gear might show up. So, I mean, you can't have the Maximals without Shidor because he's essentially the Bumblebee of the group, or Bumblebee Hotshot.
Apparently, like the character that was quote unquote Ultra Gear, like was on set, and they did the whole face on a stick thing, which I hope, because like I hope they do that more, because that means that we'll eventually hope someone will snag a picture and we'll get to see one of these guys. We'll have an idea.
I'm curious. That's how we got to learn about, like, if I remember correctly, with Dark of the Moon. That's how we got to learn like how Megatron's face was going to look, or Sentinel Prime.
There was Soundwave and Q, and then eventually.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I remember that Rage Nation video too.
Yeah, like that was God. That was
a good time.
That was always fun because like, see, like everyone was that's why my favorite part of this. I can't wait when they do actual big filming, because then everyone gets to just start speculating. That's my favorite part.
We'll tell you what, if we get enough news per month, we'll do more TFTC.
I love speculating so much.
I know, same. So those are the only Maximals we got. I assume we're probably going to get Rat Trap if we do.
I mean, if we're getting everyone except Rat Trap, it's kind of lame.
Yes.
But if we get Rat Trap, can we get him voiced by Danny DeVito? Because that'd be amazing.
I mean, any like fun, like, you know, you don't even need to be a New Yorker, but like any fun, like sarcastic, sassy.
I mean, if they got Scott McNeil, that'd be amazing.
That'd be cool. I mean, that's we're going to say with everyone. Like, oh, if they got Donald, they get kind of deal. Oh, if they got this, if they got Megatron host David K, like that's gonna be everyone. But like that's why if they're going to be doing an all-star cast, like, because like, you know, if I went to you in 2011 and I said, dude, John Goodman's going to voice Hound, you'd be like, what? I guess. But now he's like one of the more like, you know, funnier characters and somewhat iconic for that characterization. So watch, like, they're gonna pull out some random actor, like a big celebrity. We're like, okay, I guess, but then it's gonna be like, oh my god, he made that movie.
Yeah.
So, because like hopefully they keep Rat Trap's character of like he's the funny one. He's
You better say his famous catchphrase.
We're all gonna die.
Sorry, I know like next to nothing about Beast Wars.
No, that's literally like that's why I want you to get into G1 soon, because it's like you can't watch Beast Wars without G1.
Yeah, and I'm for sure gonna rewatch Beast Wars 2 when we get close to this movie.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do the same myself.
I mean, I am like I started Cybertron, so I'm getting there.
I'm
Hell
so
yeah.
curious to see how you're going to react to a lot of what happens in that show.
Oh, shush! I already, stuff has already, happened, and I want, what the fuck? And I want, okay, yeah, I like this.
Well, we'll talk about it after the show, sweetheart, because I'm curious.
Hold on, I've only gotten up to episode 4. You know this.
Yeah, but still. We don't really talk about it.
True, we don't. Okay, we're getting off topic.
Okay,
All right,
so,
let's talk about the new faction.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, should we talk about the Predacons other than...
I mean, at the moment, I guess I was gonna wait to near the end to just speculate on who they didn't announce and who they might bring in.
Okay. All right,
For,
we can just skip the Terracons for now. Or not the Terracon, Predacons. So we'll go to the
we'll talk more after this part.
Okay, so first off, I'm legitimately very proud of the Transformers brand for taking something so obscure from 1985 and making it into a legitimate character that people just seem to not get enough of. Nightbird is actually going to be in her first ever big motion picture or even just first visual media after nearly 35 years. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still going to be the typical ninja robot. She's going to transform into a Nissan GTR. I've seen that type of car before, by the way. The thing is beautiful.
Cool.
She's also going to be a Decepticon gone Terracon. She's going to be purplish gray in color. She's going to have a very modernized version of her G1 character of the same name. Basically, if Michael Bay's movieverse design, or, she looked like a Michael Bay movieverse design in this film. G1 meets that is basically how it's going to look. She's going to have her face mask, so she's not going to have a mouth, and she's going to have a hood. I think it's going to be the first Transformer that actually has a hood on her head. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm legitimately really excited about this because Nightbird was nothing but a plot device in 1985. Dr. Fujiyama, in the very episode of the same name, Enter the Nightbird, created Nightbird as a way to defend, I guess, factories and such, or even people from the Decepticons or robbers or whatnot, and then Megatron stole her, had Bombshell reprogram her into a Decepticon, and we just never saw her again. She was hinted near the end that, she's still evil, so she might come back. Yeah, she never comes back. Spoiler.
Oh.
But she's been around. She recently started gaining a large amount of popularity around 2014 with her first ever Takara Legends mainline figure for Takara's Homie. She was nothing but a retool and repaint of the Thrilling 30s RC, and then shortly after that, Generation Selects came along, and they gave us a Nightbird from the Chromia mold. So it's cool to see that she's kind of blossoming into something more than just this one-off character, as opposed to she's actually starting to develop into something more and more. And it's also a nice way to add another femme into this, mega sausage fest that is Transformers, because there are a lot of guys. But of course, Transformers don't have genders, but that's
true.
It's an interesting construct.
So it's really cool to see this, and I'm also excited for what her toy is going to look like. Because
apparently her design is similar to the Widowmaker concept art from Transformers 4.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So apparently she has some kind of dreadlocks behind her hood. Apparently, from speculation.
Dude, yes.
Interesting.
So it's gonna be it's always something I'm always curious about because of when it comes to we have so many Transformers when it comes to their faces, we have characters like Hound where it looks just like a dude with a beard, and then things like Ironhide where it has somewhat more a horse-ish, kind of animal, not too animalistic, but not human.
Yeah.
But when it comes to girls, it's just make her pretty. The RC twins were just kind of robot girls. Quintessa was just straight up just a woman face. So
she was literally Gemma Chan's face.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. If it is kind of like the Widowmaker, it'll be very because Widowmaker's design was straight up more than Quintessa, a person's face. So I wonder if when we ever break the mold, I guess maybe if RC will break that mold too, because Yeah, we saw in Bumblebee, but they'll probably change her design slightly.
The only thing I hope that they do with the face for RC is they get rid of those weird panels. Those things make me feel weird.
Yeah, I mean, if we see like even more, because like there's characters that you have to reveal. Like if they revealed Ironhide in this movie, which was a possibility, because Lorenzo mentioned Ironhide specifically during this event. So if we do have him in it, he probably won't just have the blank face that Bumblebee gave him.
If we have Ironhide, we better get Ratchet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if we have both those, are we gonna fix Bumblebee, or if we're just gonna make them?
Yeah, because like we don't even see their mouth.
Yeah, they don't. They practically don't have any.
It's weird. It's creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, Nightbird's a really cool character to have in this movie. Like that's as you said, like to have someone that had so little before and to now come back in a big way, because they could have made this character someone else.
They could have done it to anyone. They could have called her like Night Shadow or something.
Yeah, they could. What's the one? They literally. What's her called?
Shadow Striker.
Yeah, they could have made her Shadow Striker if they wanted to, but no, Nightbird. That's sick. And like that pretty much means from now on, like we'll probably see more of her in other content as well.
Yeah, that gives me major hope too, because that'd be absolutely stellar to see her continue to grow more and more into this character. Like we actually get to see more so than just, oh, she's like a silent killer, or sorry, am I still here?
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened on my end. What the heck is happening?
You're fine.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, this is my thing is acting up, but because I'm going back and forth. But if it's working, it's working. Sorry about that. So it's interesting to see this shift. I think it's a real big brain move on Hasbro and Paramount that they're actually like doing. Mainly Hasbro, honestly. Like we can't even Steve Capel Jr. too. Like I just love the fact that Nightbird's getting like this legitimate treatment, because it's like they could have done this for anyone, but they just no. Like you said, Nightbird. So, and this brings me on to.
Oh, and he's gone.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Hopefully he jumps in soon. I'll take the reins for a bit while he's gone, and hopefully he comes back.
I hope so too.
Because I'm sure, because he created it, so I'm sure he has a link, or do I have to send him a link to his own live stream?
Well, I mean, he linked,
Yeah. So
he linked to me, so obviously he can probably get back in using that.
Hopefully. Well, I'll give him 5 minutes. I'll keep going, and after 5 minutes, if he's still coming in, we'll figure out how to get him back in here.
Yeah.
But another thing about Nightbird that's really interesting is that so she's not a Decepticon in this per se. She's a Terracon, this new faction we're talking about. Though apparently she will switch sides. We don't know if it's frequent or if it has been frequent for her. Apparently she was she probably was a Decepticon at first, and then switched to Terracon. And will she go from Terracon to Autobot, or Terracon back to Decepticon, or maybe Predacon? We don't know. But it is it's interesting, very much like an RID Armada Sideways, who is also notorious for switching sides.
Yep.
So that's really cool. So having this whole character, there he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Okay, I knew I was having some sort of tech issue because my screen kept going
strange.
white.
That was really weird.
I carried for you for a bit. I mentioned about her Legion switching.
Okay, so we're still talking about Nightbird.
Yeah, pretty much, like wrapping it up.
Okay, cool. All right. I think since I can see the comments, I'll just probably pull this up on my phone instead, because it might be easier on my end.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm looking at my phone, the comments instead of this.
Okay. So that's all that for Nightbird. So I'd like to go ahead and talk about probably my most highly anticipated character in this film, because holy crap. So as I mentioned earlier, when it came to talking about how Hasbro rarely acknowledges other pre-existing media from their Transformers franchise, yeah, there might be a chance that this is a way to reference a multitude of those within just one character. The final character that has been announced so far, because it seemed like there's going to be a lot of robots in this film, is Scourge. If you have been a loyalist fan like myself and have followed Transformers from the Unicron trilogy, you'll know this name from Transformers Cybertron, which debuted in 2005-2006. Scourge is leader of the Jungle Planet. He transforms into a dragon. With the power of the Cyberplanet Key, he develops 2 more heads, so therefore he's a 3-headed dragon. This name also recalls back to the very beginning, where Scourge was a herald of Unicron, born in 1986's Transformers the movie, rebuilt from the body of Thundercracker, and reborn by the great Lord of Chaos, Unicron. This character did not really get a lot of love per se, but he did get a very interesting development in the episodes Ghost in the Machine, Starscream's Ghost, and The Burden Hardest to Bear. So that's very interesting. But this Scourge seems to take a heavy inspiration from that of Scourge of Robots in Disguise 2001, which debuted in 2001. This Scourge was basically a embodiment and the first ever depiction of Nemesis Prime. He transformed into a black tanker truck. The description for the Scourge pretty much matches that. Scourge is the leader of the Terracons. He is a trophy hunter, so much like Lockdown from Age of Extinction, only more intense. When he kills, he rips the faction insignias off and tattoos them onto his body.
Oh,
I
crap.
like this so far. He's basically like skin grafting himself. He has 4 smokestacks on the back. Pretty much confirms he'll transform into a truck. All smoking. He has a claw hand with electricity. He has a black and gray tone with some orange highlights. He's not Black Convoy looking, but probably a truck dude that smokes. But
Yeah, apparently he has wheels on his sides as well, the side of his legs, like Prime.
Yeah, I'm smelling Scourge. I'm
Also,
smelling the 2001 Scourge.
I forgot who mentioned it, but he might have a flaming goatee.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I hope to God that's the case. That'd be
That's
so
cool. So it is like a G1 Scourge face, but the body's of 2001, which is really cool.
Which also has spiked armor on the shoulders, the head, and the armor, which kind of resembles the Transformers Prime Predaking.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that is the case, this literally seems to be a nice homage of 3 different incarnations of Scourge from pre-existing Transformers media. As I mentioned before, G1, Cybertron, or RAD 2001, and Cybertron. So this is going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how this is going to look.
This is really interesting because there's a multitude of other big bats they can use for a Transformers movie. So to bring in just who was just kind of like a lackey in G1, in like pretty much other smaller villains in the other franchises in the other series, making the big bad and just kind of have him as his own character, even just being having a multitude of other Scourges, but this is now kind of his own character. It's really cool, and I'm excited to see this guy, like what he actually looks like, because the whole thing with the black and grays and oranges makes me kind of think of like G1 The Fallen, especially if his goatee's on fire.
That's gonna look so cool.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be exciting to see, and I'm glad it's Scourge because like the more with the whole fact that these are Terracons, this new faction, there's a whole, I guess not another theory, but speculation of because apparently Scourge, even though he's leader of the Terracons, he answers to someone else higher.
Yeah.
Because
which could even hint at the fact that maybe that higher up person might be someone that we've known for quite some time. That was also probably hinted or even established at the last Transformers movie from 2017.
Yes, but that's why
it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, which is why if it is Unicron and if Unicron's out and about, that would for sure kind of change the timeline if he is like out in space, or maybe they're talking Unicron inside the Earth.
Maybe they're talking about Earth.
Yeah. Because that's which I guess in a way it's kind of makes sense to have Unicron's people called Terracons. Last time we saw Terracons in canon were in Transformers Prime, where they were raised from the blood of Unicron himself. So it would make sense that Terracons are back to being alive with Unicron.
Which again kind of leads to the whole, there's a way to have your cake and eat it too for both, the movieverse fans and the people who just want their own separate universe. I also just want to establish this for the sake of it because I already saw that I went on a rant on this on Instagram. I'm going to do it again for just a smaller, brief amount of time here. There's no such thing as the Nightverse. I saw people literally say that this is connected to the Nightverse. Travis Knight made one movie. Yes, it created a universe, but that is not his universe. If anything, this is the Bumblebee verse. Because, the Nightverse makes no sense. So,
I'm sure eventually, as this series continues on, and depending again, who knows, this movie might end up being like, oh, this is absolutely a great way to continue it into 2007. So where this could always been the Bayverse. But at the moment, I'm sure like once we come getting closer, we'll find another cheeky name for it as we see more of it.
But the only kind request I have to say is if anyone comments that, refrain from using that term, because that term holds no weight and makes absolutely no sense. I hate to sound kind of like that guy, but I can't stand that term. I think it's just pointless to establish that it's that way. Just call it the Movieverse because it's still a movie universe within the Transformers franchise. But do not use the term Nightverse in my presence because I will get annoyed and it makes no sense. I'm going to leave it there because if I go on, it's going to go on a whole tangent. Those are all the characters that we have right now for the Transformers: The Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, that's all like the actual information. I mean, we could talk about the humans, but I don't really care.
I don't care about the humans. even Stephen Capel was like, yeah, we're not worried about the humans. We're going to focus on the Cybertronians, which I was like, yay! Finally.
Thank Christ.
I'm curious to see who else is going to be in it. I mean, the mention of Predacons seems very vague. It said they were going to be very reptilian. So does that mean all the Predacons are going to be?
I don't know. This is a good segue to speculate. Like, who do you speculate? Like, I mean, I'm talking about all factions. Like, who do you speculate is going to be in this movie that they did not announce yet?
Well, so far since we got about 4 out of 5 of the main Maximals, I mean, the only one I could probably think of joining them if they do go the Kingdom route is probably going to be Tigatron.
Because you can't like overpopulate this movie. Like
no,
the past
so far,
movies are overpopulated.
There's a lot going. Like it feels like I don't want to insult the guy already because he just started, but he's treating it like a passion project here. But he's already overloading this film with so many figures.
I mean, I'm
so
sure
many characters.
I'm sure it's the studio who wants it. I'm sure Steven just was told that, hey, direct the movie. Like, I'm pretty sure some decisions I bet were maybe from him, but a lot of it I'm sure were from producers or Hasbro themselves being like, look, put this in your movie, please. Because that's why I'm sure I'm sure there are other robots that they have not announced yet. Like even apparently Stephen Capel's favorite robot has not been announced yet. Because I'm sure when it comes to Predacons, even if they are all reptilian, at least a good portion of them were always reptiles. At least like your Megatrons, your Dinobots, your Pterosaurs. I mean, hopefully they do. I wonder if they're gonna like. I mean, it's not important, but I wonder if they'll avoid Scorponok because of 2007.
Can we at least get like tarantulas?
You love your arachnids.
Yes, I do.
I would either tarantulas or Waspinator. I guess honestly, you probably should. Well, I wonder because you have Nightbird, so they already have a femme fatale. Will they not use Black Arachnia? Because you now have a bad babe.
We are, unless they do like every team has to have at least one girl on it because they have. Well, actually, no, never mind. I backed that up because RC is on the Autobots, Air Razor is on the Maximals, so Black Arachnia could be on the Predacons, and Nightbird was
we can't have everyone. Like there's. I'm not
saying
you have everyone, they won't have shine.
I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not going to say like, it could go like that.
It could happen. Like, pretty much the main cast of everyone could show up. So the main cast of the Predacons, you'll probably, your Megatrons, Dinobot, Tarantulas. I mean, I would love to see them do Waspinator. It'd be weird because all these movies are always so serious, and to have the wacky Waspinator show up and fall apart and woe is me would be really weird.
Why are you never take Waspinator?
That's why I'm like, I don't know if they'll do that. That's why I am excited because I'll always take more dinosaur Transformers. I wonder how they're gonna do Megatron since they just did 2 movies of a robot T-Rex. So how do you do another robot T-Rex? Because I mean, not to mention the toys now, we just got 2 leader classes that are robot T-Rexes. We're just gonna keep having that for a while now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how that turns out. But like when it comes to do you think we're gonna see Megatron in this movie? Like not Beast Wars Megatron,
Decepticon Megatron. Maybe.
Like I can see them teasing it, like after like the Maximals and Predacons, their whole thing gets resolved. I can see a last scene or a mid-credit scene where maybe Shatter's message actually did come out and it just took them too long, and Decepticons just be like, Megatron, we found Optimus, and then just like full course to Earth, and that's sets up the 3rd movie. But it is if it is a different universe, because again, like the whole reason Megatron was supposed to be in the beginning of Bumblebee, but he told
like
you can't.
He's just gonna start tearing everyone apart on the battlefield, just walk up badass style, blasting his fusion cannon, killing Autobots left and right. That would have been so cool to see.
But then producers again were like, technically, so that's why we may not have it. I honestly, as this film comes out, because movies have changed so late production. Bumblebee, for instance, they did screenings of Bumblebee when it began with him on Earth. Megatron was in it in Sector 7. They cut it out and changed it immediately. So they could totally do a screening and people would be like, that was nice and all, but I didn't like this part. And that one line, that one criticism for that one person in the theater could totally change the entire film and make it have Megatron show up in the end. But again, that does it. There is more of that worrisome feeling of you're putting a lot of shit in this movie. And the last time you did that, it ruined your franchise for a bit. So
the other thing about this is we have no idea how long this movie is going to be.
True. Yeah.
Like Bumblebee was like what, an hour and 45 minutes or something?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like if it's like a 2-hour film,
if he wanted to, he could push it to about maybe a 2-hour long movie, maybe even slightly longer. Mm-hmm. But then that's basically going to go from what I like to call TLK syndrome.
Yeah.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Are we gonna if we have a scene where Mark Wahlberg has to go inside a lady's dad's prized room and talk about shoving prizes up horses' butts, and
you had to mention that fucking
obviously the infamous let's talk about how this 20-year-old can fuck a 17-year-old for 20 minutes.
How about that most crucial scene where a metal slug decides to go down Mark Wahlberg's pants?
Yes. That's why. This is why I think this is where the difference could be, because compared to Last Night in this film, 1, apparently Hasbro has more control. 2, it is not Michael Bay's film, where Michael Bay loves that humor and he has that style. We don't know what Steve can bring to the table of Transformers.
The other thing about this though is between that style of Transformers films and this new style of Transformers films with Bumblebee and now Rise of the Beasts, Michael Bay's first 5 movies were treated more as action films. They felt like they would more so fit the action, genre in there. Because you look at Bad Boys, you look at, Fast and the Furious and whatnot, you get that type of humor and that type of stuff. With Bumblebee, or, even the Bumblebee verse, I don't know what else to call it. I'm not calling it the night verse. It's not. Anyway, with that, it felt more like a legitimate, like a softer kind of PG-13 kids film. It felt like, the best comparison, E.T. It felt like E.T., but with Transformers. With Rise of the Beast, we have no idea what they're going to do here. I doubt they're going to go back to that type of style because, again, that was Michael Bay. That was him. That's what he wanted. That was a more action blockbuster type thing. This is more of dare I say, maybe like a Marvel Avengers Disney type feel to this, so.
Which honestly, I think Transformers could totally benefit from.
I would definitely agree with that. There is a major benefactor there because the freaking Avengers movies are wonderful pieces of cinema, and not only that, but they're solid. There's not a lot wrong with them. I mean, a lot of people could say, they're too slow. They don't get to action fast enough. Well, let the
I guess-
characters get developed and then let them do their thing later. It's like, yeah, you came for the big fights and everything, but, you're also watching these characters' stories, and it kind of has to happen with every movie. Otherwise, it's like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, what's this guy's story? Who's that? What's going on?
I guess like another movie. I just realized that. So there's another like Hasbro movie coming out soon that could show us more examples of what is to come. Because next month, G.I. Joe Snake Eyes comes out.
True.
And with that film, which same vein of Transformers, where Hasbro probably has a lot more control of that one. If that is to also show off what it's going to be like for Transformers, if it's good, that means that's good for us to hear. Because and not to mention, there's if this movie's really good and people love Transformers, they can totally cross over. A lot of people want to have a G.I. Joe Transformer crossover, especially since that is very possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I guess like maybe if we should probably keep an eye out for Snake Eyes if that does well enough to, because that could totally change how Rise of the Beast becomes as well.
Yeah, I would say so, because so far from what I've seen, that actually looks really good. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even a G.I. Joe fan, but that looks really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, it just depends on what the director, or more so the producers, want from this. But I really hope that if there's something that Steven wants in this and he knows it's faithful to the entirety of the Transformers franchise, he fights for it. Because, honestly, if he doesn't, it kind of be a disservice to just, not just to his film, but just to the franchise in general. Because at this point, it's like, oh, we just want the money off of these people who want whatever they want on the big screen. And unfortunately, that is how a lot of like major multi-million-dollar corporations function.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell Transformers does care about its fans a lot. I mean, other than the whole, fucking thing from Fan First Friday, where it's like, oh, you guys love exclusive, it's having fun, but like, we don't exactly treat them the best either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just want this to be good. Like, I liked Bumblebee.
Me too. I think everyone wants that.
I think I'm not as attached to it as I used to be. I mean, I mainly went to see it because of my mom. May she rest in peace. Oh God, that's gonna be the first movie I see without her. Okay, no, I'm okay. But I really hope that this does not suffer from what the original movieverse suffered from. And I really also hope they find a way to connect the two, because I keep preaching this every time I talk about TLK. If you ignore the after credit scene, that's technically the end of the story, but not really, because they established Unicron and that's it. There's still more to tell. So if they find a way to make this a prequel, if they find a way to throw subtle hints that, hey, it's still connected, it's just technically in like an alternate universe. Like, think of Loki. Literally think of Disney Plus's Loki right now. That's basically what they're doing. They took 2012 Loki and they're just basically retelling his story over again with some minor changes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not to mention that they love chasing fads. If the fad is a multiverse, which is, not to mention that Marvel in general is doing multiverse with their franchise, I can see where they could, that'd be a good segue for them to do that as well.
I mean, literally, like seeing Cybertron in Dark of the Moon, wasn't that something that they said from like, that they wanted to do because of War for Cybertron, because they finally did something on Cybertron, and then Age of Extinction came around, and then Dinobots were the biggest thing because of Fall of Cybertron, and then the Knights were coming out because
Game of Thrones was large.
Game of Thrones, and then also the baby Dinobots because of the Pogs from Star Wars. It's like, you're not being subtle. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. So, it's why it's actually, that's not a bad theory or speculation to keep in mind and what to see in this film.
Also, I think this is pretty obvious. Maximals, Predacons, Beast Wars Anniversary. That's literally a fad in itself.
Yeah.
It's more so for nostalgia, but they didn't have to do that. They could have literally just done a G1 Autobots versus Decepticons story and then have like legitimate Predacons or even like Sharktacons show up in the film, and that's the big menace. But no, they're doing something completely never done before for the Transformers movies, and they're going bigger and they're going badder with it, and I'm very anxious and I'm very curious, and I'm still trying to remain impartial until I start seeing exactly what's going to happen, what these characters are actually going to look like, and how exactly the story is going to go and whatnot. Because the last thing I want for any Transformers film to do from now on is to fail. And I know that that's probably going to happen regardless, because a lot of people are going to be that same type of person where it's like, oh, another Transformers movie. It's probably just going to have a bunch of action, explosion, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and it, I mean, critics are definitely. I can't speak on that because they actually like Bumblebee, so maybe.
Yeah, Bumblebee was saved because of its good criticism.
Yeah, so who knows? There's a chance, but if there's anything that I want different is, you know, I mean, just make it true to the characters more so than true to what you, I guess, like, what would be to, like, how do I say this? Make it be true to the characters and the universe established more so than what has already been. And also make it, you know, be sure that it stays with exactly, you know, find a way to throw some interesting twists and everything in there, but, you know, be respectful of where the source came from, is what I'm getting at. If that makes any sense.
Respect the source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really anything else to discuss here other than, like...
Wait, I'll sacrifice more time because I have to get out of here soon. But today, as of now, of this recording, they just announced of the latest collab figurine for Transformers is going to do a collab with Jurassic Park.
Oh!
And yeah, it's super exciting. I'm a big Jurassic Park fan.
Same.
Favorite movie for sure. And so at the moment we don't know what it is. It's rumored to be a 2-pack. If it
God, please let it be.
Yeah, it can be either the T-Rex Rexy with the Beast Wars Megatron recolor. It could be a suburban Jurassic Park Jeep Transformer. There could be the
Siege.
yeah, that could work. You can bring in Dinobot as the big one, is what the main raptor is called in that movie. You can do. There's a lot you can do. I'm hoping for the Rexy Megatron because I don't have that mold yet, actually. So I'd love to have that.
Yes, please, God, let her do it. But, like, you know, just one tiny thing.
Yeah, right.
Any fan who of Jurassic Park knows for a fact that every single unlikely dinosaur in Jurassic Park is a female.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that life finds a way, but still.
If that's the case, would you think they would give a new head sculpt for the robot movie?
I think they wouldn't care enough. I think they'd just be like, you want Megatron as the T-Rex from Jurassic Park? You got it.
Talk about a transformer.
There you go. Go.
Yep, there it is.
So yeah, I mean, I hope that too. If it is a 2-pack and there's already a leader class involved, I'm sure it's gonna be expensive. But I think I'll like look the other way this time. But yeah, that was the only other thing I wanted to mention because that's super exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Another thing I want to mention to back up on all this is that this was a listing that was leaked not even a few months, if not half a year ago. Ergo, to what I say to this, trust the leaks. Everything that has been leaked thus far has been confirmed to come out. Mm-hmm. And the most stupidest thing I've seen so far is that someone decided to post on TFW 2005 or Cybertron or whatever a possible look at an Earthrise or Kingdom Red Alert from the Walgreens exclusive listing. It's in the box. It's not possible. It's there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you see a listing and you think, oh, this is fake or whatever, wait until it's officially confirmed to be fake, but trust the leaks. Because there are a lot of people. Here's the key thing. If it comes from JT Prime 47 or if it comes from Mr. Chaos or any trusted leaked TFW 2005 member or board member or, you know, popular Reddit person who has legitimately provided multiple sources of this, trust it. We all knew this was going to happen. We know that there's going to be another couple more collaboration figures. One that's going to be apparently with Dracula, another one that's going to be an Amazon collaborative, which I hope to God will be an Earthrise Optimus Prime as Amazon Prime. I would love that.
Yeah.
Please, dear God, let that happen.
That was announced, wasn't it? Like, or leaked, I guess.
Yeah. So there's a lot to leak, and if you see the leak more than once or the listing leaked more than once, guess what? That means it's basically confirmed.
Yeah, odds are.
So
it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck.
Please don't be that guy or girl or person and be like, oh, well, this is fake because it's only been leaked once. It's likely, chances are 99% of the time it's legit. So this has been leaked. Now it's confirmed. Forget the whole take it with a grain of salt thing. At this point, just treat it the way I treat it because I always keep preaching it. Trust the leaks. Please. Save everyone the headache and just do it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not super big on Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. I'm actually going to try to watch it sometime this year, but I need that convincing.
I can do that.
I can do that.
But yeah, I mean, with Beast Wars now celebrating God, how many years? 30 years?
Oh my God.
35 years.
35 years? Damn.
25.
Oh yeah, right. Same time. Well, roughly the same time as Transformers G1.
Damn.
Yeah, it seems to be the major craze right now. Kingdom comes out in July, so that'll be interesting to see. There's a little bit of a teaser clip in Netflix's little spotlight video for July.
Mm-hmm.
Are
they just not going to give us a teaser trailer?
What?
Are they just not going to give us a trailer and just enjoy when it comes out?
I think we'll get it probably like a week or two before it releases because with Siege and Earthrise, they kind of followed that same suit.
I mean, Siege and Earthrise, they had at least a trailer out by 2 months before. This one, it's like we're getting there. We're getting close to July. The only happens like a secret from Netflix.
I mean, you would have thought during the whole Geeked In thing, that they would have done it. Like they were playing footage. You saw Air Razor.
Yeah, it's in the background. You saw Air Razor and shit multiple times, and nothing.
They never.
I watched that whole live stream.
Yeah, I was skimming through it. Also, I
got more Godzilla content there than I got Transformers content.
Off topic, I genuinely did not know Atomic Mari was going to be part of that because I used to watch Slosh, and I know Atomic Mari. I know of her, so that was kind of surprising to see that was her. I did not know that was her at the time. But yeah, I mean, a trailer. I say by the end of the month. If anything, Kingdom probably won't come out until like the third week of July.
Yeah, the 29th is what's coming out. So it'll be a while still.
We'll have to wait and see. But hey, Kingdom figures are out. There's a lot of good stuff. Beast Wars is back, baby. It's official.
You guys gonna play Transformers Go? The Niantic.
Transformers.
I know I am.
Transformers Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
I've already pre-registered.
I'll probably play it too. Like I just got done playing the Jurassic World version of it.
If you slap Transformers on anything, you know me. I will.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can't say that because I still haven't bought Expanse yet, and I probably won't.
Yeah, that's fair. That's good. I'll sucker into another, walking around app and collecting Transformers.
Please, dear God, yes.
Do we scan legit vehicle? Like, how is that going to work?
I have no clue, and I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. Right now it's in beta, but yeah, I'm down.
Did E3
I love Pokemon, so I mean, honestly, I hate the whole concept of Pokemon Go because it's spend money, you have to get more space and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Welcome to every freemium game.
Did E3 already happen?
Yes, it did.
Okay, because there's rumor, well, not even rumor at this point, but that game, that Transformers console game that's supposed to be coming out, Transformers Impact by Certain Affinity, is still being developed.
Is that a different title? I've never heard that.
It's rumored from what I saw. There was I forgot what his name was. I think it was, I want to say his name was Black Nerd Gamer.
Okay.
He's a YouTuber who talked about it.
Black Nerd Comedy.
No, that's That's.
I mean, it'd be crazy if Audrey's talking about a random ass Transformer game that's been in development for years.
I could be wrong.
I am sorry to remember this article.
He was talking about details on it, and I think that's kind of the working title. There was a lot of details about it too, where it's you could play as characters that can have vehicle modes and beast modes.
Well, of course, if the whole theme right now on Transformers is beasts and robot vehicles, I wouldn't be surprised.
I want my game where I can transform into a toaster. Can I have that? Can that just be a thing?
Cool.
You just play Call of Duty. We do that.
Like, oh man, you remember the Mountain Dew promotion game?
Yes.
Find the
yes,
cube.
sneak around and shit. That was great.
Find the cube, and you got to play as Dispensor.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Good times.
Sure.
Good times. Well, anyway, what I was getting at was I hope that they announce like another console Transformers game soon because, I mean, I'm gonna say that I'm surprised that Battlegrounds got a DLC.
Did Battlegrounds get DLC?
It did.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
Downloadable content.
They added more content to the game that you can
I knew it.
It's something
like new characters, new maps. Is it anything cool?
It's how do I explain this? It's something to do with space bridges, some sort of multiverse type deal going on.
Oh dear.
Let me see.
Got nothing.
Shattered Space Bridge is what it's called. So it's like a story expansion type deal, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It's odd, but yeah, it got DLC.
Oh, thank God, because like I was so worried it wouldn't get on that, but then I would never give up hope.
Nothing beats Revenge of the Fallen DLC. That was the greatest, one of the greatest days of my life.
That breaks my heart. We can't play that anymore.
I mean, you could play story mode.
Yeah,
but we can't. We can't play together.
You can't. Wait, can you use? No, you can't use.
No, none of the Transformers games right now have servers. So
No, not that. The Revenge of the Fallen DLC. You can't use all the characters from that. You can't use Jetfire.
You can use Jetfire in story mode.
What?
Yeah, I think.
Which mission?
I don't remember. I'm sure you can. God, maybe you can't. No, you have to. They have to. They have to give you Jetfire. That'd be bullshit.
I don't think because Jetfire played a part in the story. I don't think he.
Yeah, but there's a lot of characters. You can play as Jazz in story mode. He's dead. So
why do you have to bring that up?
Because it's true.
So I'm sure he's playable in one of the missions. I don't know which one. That would suck if there's a character you straight up can't play as.
You can play as Sunstorm.
No, I know you can. I played this before.
In story mode.
I guess here, Mark Reactions here is saying that he was only playable multiplayer.
Yeah, I knew it.
So I guess I'm wrong. Fuck me. That sucks. I guess you'll never get to experience Jetfire. Only I would say only online, but you can't do that. So suck to suck if you're buying a DLC from 10 years ago plus.
I really hope that the next Transformers console game at least get announced at SDCC or. So wait, when is SDCC?
I don't know. All the conventions, I have no clue. Like hell, our convention here at Phoenix is now in January when usually it's in June. So
I'm not going to it.
Same here. But especially since it's in January, are you kidding me? I don't get to sweat. Yeah, I'll go.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the problem is people have lives. I have college.
I mean, that's.
So
I guess
July
that's
23rd to the 25th. Is
what
it's gonna be.
When? So what month?
Friday, July 23rd to the 25th.
What? San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah.
This Friday, coming up?
July.
Oh, July. I thought you said. Okay.
No.
I was like, what? Wow. Okay.
But I hope that they don't drop the ball on the Transformers stuff this year. They need to give us a little bit more.
I'm sure they will. I mean,
toys.
I
want a new Transformers.
I'd be too hopeful for.
I'm sorry to hold you up or basically hold you hostage, but
a
new Transformers game, man. It's been a while. The last good Transformers game we got was Fall of Cybertron or Devastation.
Devastation was nice. I mean, fuck, I played it many hours to make a video. I would love if there's any content in SDCC. I mean, I'm not gonna be too hopeful for scenes about here's a quick scene from Rise of the Beast that only they can watch. But at least some kind of confirmation of, or I bet they will show or announce a trailer of the that last Cyberverse movie that's coming out, the Dinobots one. I'm sure that will probably.
Oh shit! That's right. That comes out in November.
Oh, yeah. It does.
Which means for sure they'll show a little teaser at it at San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, I can't be quoted as absolutely 100% confirmed, but that would be a pretty chill announcement for Transformers to make there.
That would be a pretty sweet thing to see. I mean, I mean, because that's technically counted as season 4 because there are going to be 2 of them, 2 films.
And the which is like 4 episodes each, probably.
The Transformers YouTube channel even like put up a thing where it was like, yeah, there's going to be Cyberverse content hitting Netflix. So, plus we're getting looks at the new toys recently.
Yeah, so the last ones they revealed were all like Rescue Bot repaints. Screw you.
God, that's.
But I mean, hopefully their designs are cool, like their actual designs, because we got some glimpse of other toys that kind of showed them off.
Those repaints are just even. Those are insulting.
Yes, I mean,
Rescue Bots Academy.
They save money, and no one, honestly, no 2-year-old's gonna care. But it is like, well, screw you.
Yeah. No, but like the pack figures, like the ones that what is it, like the Power of the Spark one that they had?
Yeah.
And Swoop, and then
Megatron Snarl
Slug.
Yeah.
Slug,
whatever.
I still can't.
Is he called Slug in the studio series?
He's called Slug.
Okay, that's what I thought. Which also, I'm not gonna lie, like it looks for being leader class, and it looks like it transforms like a deluxe. Like it sucks that you're paying like an extra $30 just for size. Because it's G. I mean, it's G1. It's going to be simple, but I mean that's
not a Grimlock. I mean,
the Grimlock's great though. That's great. I'll spend.
I think Slag, or you know what? Fuck, I might call him Slag. I think Slag. That's going to be more of like you have to judge it when it's in hand more so than just looking. Mm-hmm. Like I get looking at reviews and everything kind of helps, but like I think it's a totally different thing.
Are we going to get everyone? Like Slag has a actual scene in the movie that's iconic, but like
are
we going to get Sludge because his eyes pop out in one frame? Or are we going to get...
Oh, my God. Can they please do that?
I mean, if they make Sludge, I'm sure that they do it. I don't think they do that because Sludge and Star Wars doesn't get any cool scenes in it.
There's rumor that in 2022, Swoop is going to be next, and he might be a Voyager.
Give me the actual live-action movie Dinobots. Give me movie Slug.
No, dude, it's a total fucking cock tease that we only got AOE Grimlock.
I know, it's killing me.
I want Scorn. I want Strafe. Like, I can't stand Colossus anymore.
You can make Strafe like a Voyager. I don't need like absolute 100% size accuracy because I mean I guess it depends how that's Strafe looks like. Like for Scorn and Slug at least, like good version of those in leader class would be great.
Yeah.
But Studio Series. I mean, fuck in 2022. Studio Series is just gonna be nothing but Rise of the Beasts. So who knows what's going to happen there? Because like I don't know, like besides like gimmick toy lines, if Rise of the Beasts is gonna have their own toy line or if they're just gonna be Studio Series. Because I mean, it'd be
cool to have their own movie toy line because not even Bumblebee had that really.
It had it, but it was all like gimmicky.
But it was all the gimmicky crap for a little kid, which I respect. I always respect that. In fact, I bought a couple of those toys and I actually kind of like them. But can we just go back to the days where it's like the movies got their own toys, they got their own fancy packaging? Like, can you imagine what Rise of the Beast packaging is going to look like?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'd be all like jungly and crazy. I also please. I mean, they're not going to hear me, and also it doesn't matter because they'll do it anyway. But like, because they make concept art and then they just make the toy and then they change the concept art and then it's no more accurate. Like, please just give us accurate toys. Like, because that's what it was with Bumblebee. Like with the whole door wings, he never really had them. He had them, but not really. And Age of Extinction Optimus Prime had the battle ready armor when he should have like the slender shit. Like, I don't know. It was just hopefully they actually know what they're designing first and then make the toy and then don't change it.
I mean, hey, one could argue that the stock retail version of Leader Prime from Age of Extinction could be Rise of the Darkspark Optimus.
See, even that, like in the Rise of the Darkspark.
Then again, who wants to own a Rise of the Darkspark Optimus?
That's a good point. That's who wants to own Rise of the Darkspark. That was rough. I mean, now that game is because like that game is only good for half of it now, and even I'm pretty sure even the Fall Cybertron part isn't canon. So that game
was supposed to be like 6 days before the 6 days.
The what?
Isn't it supposed to be like 6 days before the 6 Earth days before launch?
I I have no clue. I have no clue.
I don't know either.
Because I remember, like, it was funny that I really should be getting off here. The whole thing of the False Cybertron part of the game is that Megatron has his False Cybertron body when he shouldn't. Yet they had, like, when you're on the menu and it's idle, they show you the model of War for Cybertron Megatron. They had the model, so why didn't you use it? Especially because, like, we never had a gameplay version, a playable version of the War for Cybertron Megatron in False Cybertron gameplay. Fuck, this is stupid. Anyway, that game sucks. I gotta get off.
All right, you want to do your?
Yeah. So I'm Cybergraptor. I'm on this channel a lot. Obviously, I do voice work. If you want to ask me to do voice work, you can email me at sifimatt123@gmail.com, or just go to Cybergraptor on Instagram, and you will find me, obviously, with the same icon here, or something similar to a bearded fellow. And other than that, there you go. Oh, also, Console Crabs is another YouTube channel that I'm a co-host on. It's a Let's Play channel. We're bringing it back. If you're interested in that, we do have a tiny snippet of Fall Cybertron gameplay we do. So, I mean, currently right now we're playing Resident Evil 2 and new Pokemon Snap. It'll come out soon. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, watch that too. Thank you guys for having me on this video.
Happy to have you, dude. Sorry to hold you hostage.
No problem. I'm going to go to bed. You guys have a good night.
Sleep well,
You too.
Nice talking to you too, Rebecca. You guys have a great night. Goodbye.
You too.
Bye-bye. Number 2. If anyone actually does want to contact Matt in regards to voice acting or just collaborating whatsoever, I will leave links down in the description down below, probably shortly after this live stream or tomorrow morning or afternoon, whenever I wake up. But yeah, go check him out on Instagram, Cyborg Raptor. He does a fantastic job. He's been a voice actor of mine for a long while. He's also been one of my longest friends. Him and I are about to go on 11 years. When War for Cybertron's release date hits, which I think it already has, actually. Unless it's next year when it's going to hit 11. Either way, he's a great friend. Also, please go check him out in his recent voice acting for TFI Creations in... I can't remember the video. That's going to bug me. But he voices for TFI Creations. He also recently just did voice acting for Merit Movies in his Beast Wars Transformers stop motion. So please go check that out as well. Tell him TFA sent you. And also, special shout out and a big thank you to the people who were tuning in this whole time. Mark Creation Studios and Sir Sound. Thank you very much for sticking around, hanging out. And also thank you to the 2 people who left a like and all the viewers who just stopped by and listened. I'm sorry I haven't been really making stuff recently. I'm still undergoing a very struggling transformation with this multi-purpose room. I haven't also just felt like creating anything in, honestly, a while. But I'll try to get back to it as soon as everything's all up and situated, because when I do come back, I'm going to be doing a big old 2021 collection video, and hopefully you'll see everything nice and pretty and poised and wonderful and beautiful and all those beautiful, wonderful adjectives. So yeah, Rebecca, you didn't really say much on this episode. You just wanted to listen more, or you got any?
Well, that, and I kind of really didn't have much to talk about. I mean, like with Cyborg Raptor. God, that guy is galaxy brained and it's beautiful.
Cyborg is a wonderful human being, and everyone should love him too.
I never really had much theories, like because I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh hey, new movie, fucking yes.
Just here for the ride, huh?
Yeah, basically, because I'm still, relatively new.
I mean, as long as you're okay with that, I just don't want you to be here and, feel like you're not contributing, because honestly, you just listening is like, if that's good for you, that's good for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is, but I also kind of want to contribute, but at the same time, I don't know what.
Well, I mean, we could do like a quick rap sesh, real quick, like if you wanted to share your thoughts on all the stuff that we're talking about. I
mean, I totally would, but, I'm honestly really exhausted right now.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Well, maybe another time. Probably when, we get, more information and, I said, I can possibly relate to, because I have no idea, because, Scourge, what the heck?
I would say look up scenes, but I don't want you to spoil yourself, but at the same time,
Yeah, babe, I literally just got introduced to Crumple Zone and Ransack.
Oh, the clown cars.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love. Wait, can you believe Crumple Zone's the same voice actor who did Unicron?
No, I really can't.
Not Orson Welles. I mean Armada Energon Unicron. That one.
Yeah, I know.
It's wild. So
yeah,
as long as you're okay. I just don't want to seem like you try and you know what I mean. Like I don't want you feeling bad that you weren't able to contribute.
Well, I mean, I contributed what I could. Not like it wasn't enough for me.
Yeah. I also just noticed my icon has not changed. It's still on 1025 for some reason. It should show up as rainbow TFA 1024. That's weird.
I mean, I didn't. Oh, I never changed mine, so
It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to fix that. Next time. But yeah. So I will be back to doing stuff soon. I'm just kind of trying to get life and such situated. But thank you everyone for tuning in, hanging out. We'll try to do more TFTCs as more news occurs. Another thing I'm actually going to work on is trying to make TFTC a legitimate podcast. So if anyone has any idea on how to actually do that, and if there's a way for me to actually get guests on as well while I do that, that'd be super helpful. But if not, we'll just keep doing this format because I don't see, it's technically a podcast. Just play the audio and don't look at the screen. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if you have any thoughts, any comments, anything that you want to do, anything you want to talk about regarding this video, please feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section down below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, because that's kind of where I'm most active nowadays, I will leave a link down in the description down below. Please also follow TFActress4891 on Instagram as well. This wonderful, beautiful woman may not post often, but we'll get there.
it's in the works.
Yeah, same. We help each other.
Yes, we do.
Also, again, please go check out Cyborg Raptor. Fantastic guy. Absolutely one of my best friends. I love that guy so very much. And just stay tuned for more stuff because I'm always getting Transformers and, I may not live the most exciting life, but as soon as a collection is all put up and everything, I can guarantee you'll see a collection video.
Radical.
I just need to figure out how the hell I'm going to do all this. So I think that's pretty much all there is to say here. So, yeah. I hope everyone's been doing well in these trying times. Hopefully people are getting vaccinated and enjoying life once again.
I know I'm fully vaccinated.
That's good.
I still don't trust people, so I keep my mask on.
Right. That's not really a matter of trust. It's more just personal safety. So if anything, you're fine either way.
Yep.
I'm running out of things to say here, so I'm just going to leave it at this. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in, hanging out. Please remember, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to all of you wonderful, beautiful people next time. Until we meet again. Farewell.
Bye.
Oh, and if anyone has any suggestions for a better outro as opposed to "Till All Are One" or what I just said,
I like that.
comment down below, please. I'm looking to change that. I want something that really sticks. Anyway, till we meet again. Farewell.
Bye.